Hi guys. So I thought a video like this was kind of overdue because Jay and I haven't really been very active in our Facebook group, and we just want to say hi to you guys. And I wanted to give a backstory about what joy is, and I want to wrap things up for 2022, whether we've done what we've set out to achieve and what we want to do for 2023. So who am I? I'm Clarissa, one of the faces behind Joy. If you don't know me, well enough, I used to run Yoga Designs, which is another book cover design company, which was mostly solo. And I've been in the self-publishing industry for about 10 years now, writing books, designing covers, mostly doing a lot of covers and seeing a lot of authors grow, start, and also leave. So I want to use this video platform to just share more about the cover design process, what I think about writing, and also upcoming developments like AI that is quite scary. So, about me and Jay, how did we meet? I met Jay when I was kind of burned out in 2015 after 3 to 4 years of doing cover design, and I really needed help at that point. So I hired him to help me with the processes, and then what happened was that a few months, I think I just couldn't really handle it anymore because I didn't realize hiring somebody would actually be more work. I thought he would just help me, but really I needed to train, and I needed to manage the client flow, and I needed to manage marketing while also doing covers at the same time. So it was more work, and I just wasn't prepared for it. So I took a break after that, and I showed Jay how to market, what the industry was like. And back then there was so many opportunities. So Jay actually grew a lot. He grew and he made beautiful art. He turned out so much amazing things, and at that time I was still recuperating, and Jay actually pushed himself to the point of burning out. So I think it's really a big part of just the cover design industry in general. If you're an artist for a certain amount of time in the cover design industry and you really don't know how to protect your time, burnout just happens, especially if you're not very experienced with handling clients. So right out of the gate, I dropped out of uni, and then I went into cover design, and I just didn't know how to handle clients or my time properly. And I was working so many hours every single week just doing covers. Like, I remember taking the bus at like 8 a.m. to the office. This used to be my regular schedule. I used to take the bus at 8 a.m. in the morning to the office, reach the office, and then only go home at about 9 or 10. My own grandma was complaining that I wasn't showing up enough for her and not going to dinner. So I gave that much for cover design, and I think Jay went through the same thing where he was working 12-hour days for 2 to 3 years. And yeah, we were very burned out. And I think the reason why we let ourselves get to that stage was because we were just very thankful for just that opportunity. Because when I first met Jay, he was, you know, just working this job that didn't really like value him enough, from Singapore. And I was, uh, well, I dropped out of school, so I really couldn't do anything else. And like, book covers just gave me this opportunity for so much freedom, so much time to just, create. Like, I remember when I was younger, I woke up one day and I thought I was living a dream. I was literally thinking like, oh, I do book covers for a living. And I just couldn't believe it for a second because I just thought that it was such a dream job. But because of that, I told myself, I can't really turn away any clients at all. And I took on every single hard project. I tried to fix everything and gave in. And then that's just a recipe for not being able to sustain yourself. So when we created Joy, we were feeling this for a very, very long time. It dragged on, and we saw it as a solution because one big reason of cover design being not very good on your mental health is because you're just working all alone. You don't really have a team. You don't have HR to support you or battle with, because I've heard some stories about HR, and doing all these things alone just kind of makes you very unable to vent out your frustrations. And especially when you're having trouble with like a project and you're like, oh, I need somebody to help me solve this part. You can't really rely on like just help from your peers, or just not even just help, just an alternative view on or perspective on things would just alleviate a lot of that stress. So we didn't have any of that. And so we just thought that maybe if we teamed up, that could help us, right? So following up on all that, I think that's why the name Joy is so ironic, because it's supposed to stand for J-O Yoga. So it's our names combined. And the main intention when we named our company Joy was really to just want to bring joy to authors and bring joy to our processes, because we came from this very big place of unhappiness, of wanting to give up, wanting to take time for ourselves. So last year, we weren't really very active in the Facebook community or the writing community in general. We weren't as responsive because we just needed to take that time for ourselves. So we hired an assistant to help us with our bookings, and we went more towards like the commercial route, where we're just going to make good art and make sure that the art just works, and the rest of the time we're just going to do our own thing. So I mostly like set up a house, and Jay did like some gardening, and we just really managed to recuperate. But I think that recuperation time is over. We want to continue to grow and continue to give back to this community, which is why I was thinking maybe YouTube videos might help. So I'm going to show up more in video. I will talk about AI and also show some cover tips and tricks here and there, and talk about actually mental health for authors. I think that's not talked about enough. Like there's a lot of the times I see in this industry, it's a lot about you got to hit this target, or I made this much money from my writing, or um, you know, doing this will get you the most amount of readers. And really, it's not a lot about taking care of yourself. Like there are some thoughts like about taking care of yourself being written out there, but not really how to actually take care of yourself. So I've been through like some therapy on like I also did spend the last year going through like therapy and helping myself on that mental aspect. So I want to share what I've learned with authors. Maybe it might help, maybe it might not. We are all very different people. And also on the back to the cover design realm, I do want to develop the shine line more. So I think we have announced the shine line, but we really didn't do much about it. It was this idea for me to have a separate price point with a very different art style, because I know currently we have this very specific art style that is very similar to some of what I did in Yokla, and then a lot of what Jay did in Covers by Juan. And I think that art style is just, it works for many covers, but we feel like we can do a lot more, and you don't necessarily need to always get that art style for like even the paranormal romance genre. So we want to explore more and provide a more accessible line of covers for authors who need it, as well as also showing up more for the community, like creating anthology covers and maybe just hosting more events. We're not sure what yet, but we are planning to do some of that. So that's about it, and that's our wrap up for 2022. A bit of an explanation about why we created Joy, which is what I think is overdue, and what we're going to do in 2023. And you're going to see a lot more of me in the future. So I'm looking forward to see more of you guys also. And that's it. Bye-bye. One more thing, I realized that I didn't say why Jay is not in this video, and he really should be, but he's also very shy, so I will try to drag his butt in here for another video.